The archaeological site on Kepler-4 had been dormant for 3 million years, waiting beneath layers of crimson sand and crystallized time. Dr. Ila Chen stood at the entrance of the newly excavated chamber, her breath forming small clouds in the thin atmosphere despite her suit's thermal regulators. The alien tomb stretched before her like the throat of some ancient beast, its walls carved with symbols that seemed to shift when viewed from the corner of her eye. Readings are off the charts. Derek Morrison called from behind her, his scanner emitting a series of worried chirps. Isla, I'm detecting energy signatures that shouldn't exist. This structure is older than most known civilizations, but it's still ... active. Isla didn't respond immediately. She couldn't, because carved into the archway above the entrance, rendered in perfect, unmistakable, standard English, were two words that made her blood run cold. Welcome, Isla. Derek noticed her frozen posture and moved closer, following her gaze upward. His face went pale behind his helmet's visor. That's impossible. This tomb predates human spaceflight by millions of years. It predates humanity itself. I know what it predates, Isla whispered, her voice tight. She reached out, her gloved hand trembling as it approached the carved letters. The moment her fingers made contact, the symbols along the walls blazed to life, bathing the corridor in ethereal blue light. The expedition team had stumbled upon this site by accident, following strange gravitational anomalies that pulled their survey ship off course. What they'd found defied every principle of xenoarchaeology. The tomb belonged to a civilization called the Architects, beings who had supposedly seeded life across dozens of star systems before vanishing without explanation. But the Architects had been gone long before Earth's continents had even formed, so how did they know her name? We should wait for the rest of the team, Derek urged. But Isla was already moving forward, drawn by something she couldn't explain. The corridor descended at a gentle angle, the walls closing in until they formed a tunnel barely wide enough for two people to walk side by side. Every few meters, new inscriptions appeared, each one more personal than the last. She who seeks truth, daughter of the third planet. Isla, they're not just using your name, Derek observed, his scientific curiosity overriding his caution. They're describing you specifically. This is directed communication across time. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber, and both humans stopped dead in their tracks. At the center stood a crystalline structure, pulsing with the same blue light that illuminated the walls. But it was what surrounded the crystal that made Isla's knees weak. Hundreds of holographic projections, showing Earth at various points in its history. She saw dinosaurs roaming prehistoric jungles, ice sheets covering continents, and finally, impossibly, she saw herself as a child, playing in her grandmother's garden in Shanghai. No, she breathed. No, this isn't possible. A voice emerged from the crystal, not through sound but directly into their minds. It spoke in multiple languages simultaneously, yet both Isla and Derek understood it perfectly. We knew you would come, Isla Chen. We have waited 3 million years for this moment. Derek grabbed Isla's arm. This is a trap. It has to be. But Isla pulled free, stepping closer to the crystal. Who are you? What are the Architects? We are you, the voice replied. Or rather, you are what we once were. Humanity is not unique in the cosmos. Isla, you are the inheritors, the latest iteration in a cycle that has repeated across eons. We are your descendants from a future that has already passed. The holographic images shifted, showing a thriving human civilization spanning galaxies, achieving wonders beyond imagination. Then came the fall, a catastrophic war that tore reality itself apart. The images showed humanity making a desperate choice to send their knowledge backward through time, to seed it in the past, hoping that their ancestors might make different choices. You're saying humans built this? Derek's voice cracked with disbelief. That we're looking at ruins of our own future. Not ruins, the voice corrected. A warning, and a gift. The crystal pulsed brighter, and knowledge flooded into Isla's mind. Technologies, philosophies, the mistakes that had led to catastrophe, and the keys to avoiding them. She saw the branching paths of probability, the moments where human history could diverge toward either transcendence or annihilation. Why me? Isla gasped, falling to her knees under the weight of the information. Why my name? Because you are the pivot point. Your discoveries here will shape humanity's trajectory. We chose you before you were born, ensured that your path would lead here. Every choice, every passion that drove you to the stars, we orchestrated it across the centuries. Derek helped Isla to her feet, his expression a mixture of awe and horror. That's a violation of free will on a cosmic scale. No, the voice said gently. It is hope given form. We did not control Isla's choices. We merely created the conditions where she could make them. The person she became, the scientist she is entirely her own. The crystal began to dim, its energy finally exhausting after millennia of waiting. The voice grew fainter. Take this knowledge, Isla Chen, share it with your species. You stand now where we once stood, at the threshold of either extinction or enlightenment. We failed. Perhaps you will succeed. As the light faded completely, Isla and Derek stood in darkness, their suit lights the only illumination. In Isla's mind, the gift remained a complete archive of human achievement and failure, spanning millions of years. What do we do now? Derek asked quietly. Isla looked back toward the entrance, where their ship waited and where humanity continued its stumbling march through the cosmos. Unaware of the precipice it approached, she thought of the architects of the humans they had been and the sacrifice they had made, reaching backward through time to save themselves. We give them a chance, she said finally. We give ourselves a chance. As they emerged from the tomb into the rust-colored dawn of Kepler-4 for 2b, Isla carried within her the whispered secrets of humanity's cyclical fate. The stone had called her name across 3 million years of silence. Now it was her turn to answer, to break the cycle, to prove that humans could learn from mistakes they hadn't yet made. The tomb sealed itself behind them, its purpose fulfilled, and in the shifting sands of an alien world, the legacy of Earth's far-flung future became the foundation of its present hope.